Hello there. Um, that's a pretty weird on. Okay, this is the worst intro I admit. This is the worst intro I ever made. I don't even know why I'm fumbling this bad. Anyways, welcome. Come on, come all. Welcome to the live stream. You're welcome. All of you guys are welcome. How how y'all doing in the chat? Tell me how y'all doing in the chat. If you guys are in the chat, let me know how your day's been doing. Good? Good. Well, as you can see right here, I was scrolling through, I was like, messing around with a tier list. And, there's basically like, a lot of tier lists. Yeah, let me move this out the way, because, well, because, that'll be ruining the surprise. So, you guys are wondering of my, like, whereabouts. And as you can tell, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just gonna do a little short and sweet live stream, hopefully. And hopefully none of my videos get hit with any delays. Cause yeah. Now I think about it, most of my videos are hit with a lot of delays, but hey, it's fine, it's fine. Fine, as long as you're not angry about, like, how many videos I've been delaying, even though I've been delaying a crap ton of videos. Which obviously is not good. However, don't worry. Sooner or later, I will make, I will make an entire. I will still be working on videos no matter if, like, it's gonna take a really long time to pop out. I still will be looking forward to, like, making these videos. But right now, we're gonna do a little short and sweet live stream and going through. And what better way to go for. What better way to make a short and sweet live stream other than giving out my thoughts and opinions about the characters from one of my favorite animes, Inanimate Insanity, of course. I mean, honestly, it's which is pretty debatable. And I've been doing a little bit of editing. If you guys want to, like, go to, like, the unedited one, then the link will be in the description. In fact, all the links will be in the description. Because, well, I have, like, two of them. I have two of them. I have now the two of these tier lists I have on the popular object shows, and then I'll go and then I'll pop up the bonus one for you. So yeah, let's get started, and hopefully I don't get flamed in the comments or in the chat because I'm their biased opinion. Now, I have a confession to make. I mostly know Inanimate Insanity on the back of my hand. I mean, sure, I still like BFTI, but I'm more of a fanboy. I often watch this show religiously. Sometimes. And I often thought, I haven't expressed my opinions on any of the characters. So why don't I make them right now? And that is exactly what I'm doing today. And also, I'm making sure that one of my friends will be joining this live stream. Or one random person that's going to be joining according to the community post. And yeah. Now, for the highest tier, we have. Actually, you know what? You don't have to. I don't have to explain any of these. So right here, the goat. Need I explain it? I need to explain it. I mean, it's not like look at it. Like look at the title. Look, it implies. Now for S tiers, those are the characters that are marvelous. You like that word, marvelous? Right here, the characters are great. For a B tier, there are characters that are, yeah, that's pretty decent. For C tier, there are characters that are forgettable or overrated. Now, I'm going to be precise with you. Just because I think a character is overrated, that does not mean they're bad. They're bad characters. I mean, I can find some enjoyment, but it's not personally my type. Now for D tier are the characters that I'm a little bit annoyed with. F tier are the characters that I dislike. G tier is the characters that I hate. Now, obviously, hate isn't a strong word. And right here is the gulag. That's basically where the worst of the worst goes. That's basically where the worst of the worst belongs in. And then this tier right here is the who are you tier. Sometimes they're just characters that appear randomly. Hold up. Alright guys, I'll be right back in a quick of a second. Mech. We're at the 10-minute mark. Let's get started. All right, so right here, and what better character to start with other than Mifo? Probably one of the most iconic hosts in the entire show. In show, he has some very funny remarks. He is a very funny guy. I even though at times, well, he can act like a complete jerk, but that's only because of Mr. Steve Cobbs right here. But we'll get on with him later. But for now, it's time for me to give out my thoughts of him. So I'm just gonna put him in A tier. Now, next up, we have Mr. Meepad right here, which is a pretty helpful and loyal companion of Mephone, formerly. However, one thing that got everyone crying is where he sacrifices himself. What? You thought it was gonna be like a spoiler-free live stream? Draw two for your mistake. And not gonna lie, this is where real men cry. So I'm just gonna put it in. Oh my god. I'm just gonna put it. So I'm just gonna put it in A tier, a little bit higher from me phone. I'm just gonna contribute to silence. I'm knocking on wood just to make sure that this is like an opinionated video or live stream. I don't even know why I called it a video, but let's just start. All right, now for toilets. All right, sometimes he does a little redemption arc, like where he presses the button and everyone dies. However, he's basically a mix between two personalities, or I can kind of tolerate him, I can kind of not tolerate him. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for the inconvenience. Alright, let's get started. Now thank you. At least I don't have the condition. Anyways, I'm just gonna put a toilet like right in. Yeah, I'm just gonna put them right there. There we have Apple. Sometimes I don't know much about him other than he's very salty about the fact that he feels betrayed about because these two are known for ruining Christmas. And honestly, I can relate. I can understand why Apple have beef with a marshmallow, and paintbrush. However, for season 2, he's very very obsessed, and that's kind of weird. So, however, thankfully he redeemed himself. He got together, even though I haven't seen the conversation between. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it right here. Then we have Balloon. Now, he's basically a character that you're supposed to hate, which is understandable. But dang, you don't have to do salt like that. He assaulted assault. He assaulted my goat. I think it's a little bit of spoilers, but that's fine. He had beef with Taco. He had beef with Pickle. In fact, he has beef with his own team. Because, his name is Team Chicken Leg, which honestly I can understand, but I digress. And for season 2, yeah, I'm not sure about his personality where he's obsessed of forgiveness. So yeah, I'm just gonna. He's a little. That's good. But overall, he's not a terrible character, so I'm just gonna put it right here. Then we have baseball. Honestly, he's pretty forgettable. So, other than other than he reminds everyone nothing personal, and he has a lot of activities to do throughout almost throughout the entire show in throughout the season 2. Yeah, he has some more activities to do, and overall, pretty great character. It's probably gonna it's probably gonna they're probably gonna rain some steam right here, which honestly understandable, but yeah. There we have Bob, who is which is a different version, which not to be confused with Bombi, because well, he has no Y. Now for him as a character, well, it's pretty well. I haven't remember what he does other than he pushed OJ off just to win. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pretty messed up, but if man's gonna win, then man's gonna win. You can't blame him when he tries to win. And right here, he doesn't really do much, but as you can tell, he's pretty he's very a silly character that is in B tier. What a surprise! Then we have one of my favorite characters, Bo. She's a little silly Billy who likes chairs and a professional girl boss. And you know where girl bosses go? S tier. Then we have another version of Bo who has the same energy as season 1 Bo, but with the same energy and has the same energy, but is a ghost. Now I'm gonna put it higher than season 1 Bo because, well, the song is peak. But which we'll get on to later. Now we have Box. That's kind of what you need to know. And then we have Box. Later season Box. Now, she does have a very interesting backstory of how she became Box. She has gone through hell and back, being smashed, being abused, being left out, as well as being snitched on by these two cherry boys or girls. I can't tell. Please don't cancel me. And however, even though that she has some developments, I vaguely remember him. I remember her like it was yesterday. So I'm just gonna put her right and move that guy down. All right, there you go. Now we have Cheesy. I'm just gonna say I never laughed at Cheesy's jokes. To me, it felt like a Gen Alpha kid telling me jokes. And I don't vibe with these types of people. Well, no, normally I would put him somewhere in D tier or F tier, but he does have a redemption arc because of the pep talk. He does learn his lesson overall, and I pretty much like it. So I'm just gonna put him right between Box and Apple. Next up, we have the two cherry boys, or two cherry girls, or I don't know. Then we have the cherries, who are the mischievous duo. They launched Mars into space. Now, I'm still mad. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still mad about how they launched Marshmallow to space and they blame it on Box. But hey, how can I get mad at these two? I mean, they're the mischievous duo. And in one of the comics, they learned a lesson and they turned into a new leaf. I love redemption arcs, so I'm just gonna put them in B tier. I should probably put them in C tier because, well, C is for cherries, and yeah. Okay, let's just move on. Then we have Doe, and as you may know, Silly Billy's go in A tier, even though he dies. Even though he dies, so yeah. Now we have Bo. Oh, Doe. I don't know. I don't even know what's wrong with me, but Then we have Doe. I should probably rank the Inanimate Insanity characters, the season 1. Well, shoot. Now I have to start it all over. Except for Toilet and Meatbag as well. They're the host and co-host. However, for co-hosts, and except for season 2 Bo. All right, now which character? All right, the next character is Knife. Knife. Now, to be perfectly honest, I honestly vibe with Knife. I, despite of all, At one hand, he's peak and he's like a really tough guy. On the other hand, he's very sympathetic. Like, and he apologizes to Marshmallow, even though Marshmallow doesn't forgive him. I'm still mad about that. And and he basically tells Suitcase to never play the victim card, which honestly pretty much hits hard. So I'm just gonna put him in A tier, even though there are moments where I often get mad at him because of the balloon mistreatment. And I'm still mad to this day. Then we have Lightbulb here, who is the trans icon as well as an autistic icon we needed. I don't know why he's I I don't even know what I'm saying, but as you can tell, Lightbulb is a pretty great character. She's a very Now here are a few things I like about Lightbulb. One, she's a silly Billy, and two, she sees the positives on everyone. And I still remember the quotes were such as "I didn't permit you to speak," or "I want the pizza now." Pretty great character, and I must add, so I'm just gonna put her in S tier. Next up, we have Marshmallow. Now, let me explain. She has a lot of beef with. She has a lot of beef with almost everyone. She has beef with Knife. She has beef with Apple. Also, Apple. Oh, I can understand why, for season one, you pretty much caused a conflict. Like why would you do that? No wonder you got eliminated. And for season two, however, I like how she's more sympathetic in this version. So I'm just gonna put her in B tier. All right. Now up next we have Nickel, not Nick Lay. Chill out, y'all. Oh, hang on, how long? 40 minutes? Dang. All right. So Nickel right here, season one, pretty great. However, in season two, you and me meet me at the Project Street. Normally, I would just put him in F tier because of the unforgivable things he did, but also he does have a little redemption arc in that one spin-off show. So I'm just gonna put him in C tier. Next up, we have OJ. For season one, OJ is like a pretty chill dude who has a lot of swag, even though he barely looks like a character that has swag. Like, but overall, not a terrible character. I'm just gonna move this right here because I'm gonna save the surprises. I'm filled with surprises sometimes. I'm just gonna make sure that I included almost every contestant. And for season two, however, well, he's been running a management program of the hotel. I expect that. And he is so real for calling out Mifune for all of his crimes. Honestly, I find it pretty based. So Although it's pretty unnecessary of what he did to Balloon, but I put Balloon in C tier, so I'm just gonna put him in A tier right here. I'm just gonna move him. Let me just move him down. There you go. Now you're probably wondering, where's Taco? We'll get on with her later on. Now we have Paintbrush. In season 1, he is a pretty chill guy or gal. Oh wait, they're C. Yeah. In season 1, they're basically chill, as well as trying to be very competitive. I do like the amazing dodging skills and their techniques. And it's also pretty funny how Knife chose Paintbrush because, well, they're tall. And honestly, Knife has some pretty good taste. However, in season 2, I don't like the mistreatment of Lightbulb, but thankfully they have a redemption arc, and as you can tell, I love redemption arcs. Don't at me. So I'm just gonna put him in A tier. Actually, I'm just gonna put it right. I'm just gonna put it right next to there. Next up, we have Paper. Paper, OJ's companion. OJ's companion. He been through hell and back because he's been tormented by being in Idiotic Island. And honestly, I would pretty much go insane if I were to stay in there. I can. Let me move him down because he accused Paper of trauma dumping, which he may be right, but still. Do you not know how the trauma he went through? No, I like his personality, even though he expected sympathy from OJ, and as you can tell, I'm not a fans of these characters who expected sympathy by just saying it out loud. So I'm just gonna put it right next to baseball. And then we have these two together, Salt and Pepper. Do they count as the same character since, they have shared characteristics with each other? Yeah? Okay, so here we have Pepper. Pepper, who is a very sophisticated leader. Er? Yeah. I don't know. I am probably concerned that that is my okay, whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just listing of a few things. So Pepper, I do like the controlling part of her, and she tells Salt not to simp. So I'm just gonna put her in A tier. That's because she's also a girl boss, by the way. Then we have Salt, who is also a girl boss. However, she simps for OJ. And as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of people who are very obsessed with their crushes. Okay, let me move this guy up. There you go. And finally, for season 1, we have Pickle. I was expecting a little character development him in season 2, but in season 1, I like how he teaches Taco how I like the bond he shares with Taco. I love friendship dynamics. And he doesn't seem And he doesn't seem like a bad friend. He is like a B tier, but I'll put him very high. Now we move on to the season 2 cast. All right, all right. Let's just move this right here, here. All right. Next up, we have Mr. Fan right here. I honestly like him because well, he's just like me for reals. So I'm just gonna put him in A tier because I love relatable characters. Also, I'm noticing that these two share the same face, even though she has eyelashes and they have different mouths. I'm just gonna put him in eight. I'm just gonna put him in S tier. Then we have microphone. Now hear me out. I know I know she manipulated Balloon, but that's only because she's being controlled. So trolled. I also like how I also can relate to her. How she tries to calm down Soap, and I can understand the pain she went through. So for that, I'm just gonna put her in. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just gonna put her in S in A tier. Actually, I'll put her in S tier because she comforts Taco. She's basically my comfort character. Actually, b- actually, Lightbulb Fan and Microphone are my comfort characters. Next up, we have Soap. I don't even know why Nickel hates on her. I mean, she's trying to keep everything spick and spam, even though she poisoned everyone with the pizza. But she doesn't seem like a bad guy or a bad girl. So I'm just gonna put her in A tier. Then we get on to Suitcase. On now, to be honest, I'm pretty biased on Suitcase. On one hand, she's a huge trauma dumper, but on the other hand, I can relate to the anxiety she's having. I can relate to her stress and guilt, as well as her biggest fears. So I'm just gonna put her in B tier. There you go. It's also pretty ironic that Bomb starts with the B, and Baseball starts with the B, and GZ starts with the C. Next up, we have Test Tube. The good test tube, not the one test tube that's in the spinoff. We don't talk about it. You have the good test tube. Now, I love her very nerdy personality, where she's a huge know-it-all. However, at the same time, she wants to know what's best for the team as well as best for her friends. And also, she tells herself that she can be very awkward, which honestly I can kind of relate. She's just like me for real, so I'm just gonna put her in S tier. There you go. Then we have then we have tissues. I don't like how he's voted out because he has a condition. Which, first of all, what is wrong with you? Why would you vote out a person who suffers from a condition? that just makes you a demon. However, it does get a little. However, he does cause all 16 to lose because well, actually no. Santa's gonna put him in B tier because he is unfairly voted out. All right. Now we have trophy right here. Bro is not him. So yeah, he's basically Andrew Tate. Yeah, trophy is basically Andrew Tate in a nutshell. Then we have Yin and Yang. He is I'm sure it does get a little annoying when they often fight each other, but honestly, I don't get angry at them that often, so I'm just gonna put them in C tier. Next up, we have Mr. Krabs, or Sebastian, or Baxter. Oh wait, Baxter. I'm just gonna put him in A tier. I'm just gonna put him in A tier because why not? Then we have the Shimmers. I'm just gonna put them in A tier because well, they are royal, and therefore I must respect the rule. And then we have a little baby Shimmer. I'm gonna put her right next to the parent, or at least I think it's a parent. Then we have the entire group. We have the entire squad of spoiled lemon. And and I guess they probably gonna share the same tier, A tier. They're gonna share the same. They're probably gonna share the same tier. All right, there you go. There you have Mr. Tomato Guy right here. There, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Now it's time for a little lightning round. I asked for party hats. Gotta put them in the S tier. Gotta join the S tier, boys. Because, well, I have watched Brawl of the Objects before, and if you haven't watched it, it's peak. Okay, and then we have It's a Ball. It's going to be tier here because that song is peak. All right, so now we have to clear up the list is about to be empty. They think about it. Razor Blade. Honestly, I forget he exists. When does it put it right here? Is that all of them? Okay, yeah. Is that all of them? Okay, I think it's all of them. Moving on, we have the Inanimate Insanity Infinity. First, starting off with Gavel, which is the judge, and honestly, gotta respect the honor. So I'm just gonna put him in A tier. And then we have Nicolay. No need to be highly offended, Mr. Nicolay, because I'm about to put you in S tier. This because look at him. He is the best creation in the entire universe. Like, tell me, like, tell me, would if you guys deny it, we can't be friends. Legends know Nicolay. Actually, men know Nicolay, but legends know the apple trees. As you can see right here, yeah, pretty hot takes, and pretty self-explanatory. Then we have Tyler. No, I'm not talking about Tyler the Creator. And just like Nicolay and the apple trees, they are the greatest things known to man. If someone made an entire fan base dedicated to this character, I would most likely join it. Just out of curiosity as well as impulsively. So yeah. Have I ranked any of these characters? I feel like I did rank any of these characters. So let's go to start with Inanimate Insanity Infinity. But first with Santa Claus. I will C tier. Cause actually I'm gonna put him in actually you know what? I'm gonna put him in A tier. Because Santa's because Santa gave him the pony that Apple always wanted. Alright. We're gonna start with the entire cast of Inanimate Insanity Infinity. First starting off, I like her. I like her. I like her. Her. She has a lot of girl boss energy or boy boss energy. I can't tell. So don't at me, please. Then we have Beryl. Honestly, I forgot he. Honestly, I forgot he existed. Then we have Black Hole. Honestly, that is pretty much the more intimidating version of Black Hole. If I see this at night, I would be terrified. I'll have me screaming for my life. I should probably put this guy put this guy in E tier because he rocks with the sunglasses. Don't at me. I'm just gonna put it right here. We'll get back to you later. Also, I do think it's like a more detailed version of it. Too bad she only shows up in one episode. Then we have Mi Phone 4S. Oh wait, I forgot Mi Phone 4S. Pretty much so cool. I First off, he has sunglasses. Second off, I do like the parodies of Terminator, and as you may know, Terminator is always peak. Don't at me. Like I know you guys are gonna disagree with me when I say that Terminator's peak. What you gonna do about it? Okay. Now we have Chives, S tier. I mean, he is quite a gentleman. How can you deny that he's a gentleman? He's just doing his job. Here have Mr. Hot Dog. I'm probably glazing over people who has sunglasses, but like they have sunglasses. How can you deny that they are cool? Then we have the Southern Hay Bale. And shout out to all my Southern homies right here because he's in S tier. Shout out to people who speak in a Southern accent because, well, then we have Kamkwai. Wait, what's this dude's name? Oh, Kumquat. Oh wait, Kumquat. The better, the better version Cheesy. Still pretty annoying though. So yeah, right here. Then we have the seashell. I love her design. She's such a jolly fellow. I'm just gonna put her right here in the top of A tier. Then we have Coffee. I hate how he screams in everyone's faces. Don't at me. They have they have three personalities in one. I sometimes forgot they exist. So, but you know, they're not exist, but I like their design. Still not as peak as Yin Yang though. All right, now we have now we have the Meeple headquarters. Yeah, let's see how everyone. Oh, let's see what we got here. Hello, Mr. Toffer 5328. How you doing today? Are you doing good? Well, glad to hear. In fact, I'm glad that everyone is having an awesome day. I just want to say I like to partake in. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. All right. Now, so you know the reason why you're here in the live stream, right? Well, I just basically gonna rank almost every single character right here, and hopefully you're chill. Are we chill? If we are, then good. Good. That's good to know. Good to know. I like people who are chill. And not the usually it's like the other way around. There we have. All right. Oh, he said yeah. All right. Let's get started. Now we have Meeple headquarters. Starting off with the main man himself, Steve Cobbs. I like the development in him of how he's portrayed as a very neglectful as well as abusive father, where he expects best from Meephone, but turns out it's like the opposite. Honestly, he's pretty much like one of those villains where they are very intimidating, even though they don't look very intimidating. And he's the one who like started terrorism on the on the eggs. He got turned into popcorn though, and everyone feasts on his flesh, which is so messed up. Not gonna lie, but overall, pretty solid villain. There you go. There we have Adam Bot. Adam Bot. Oh, then we have Brian Bot, and then we have Justin Bot. They probably have a different names, but I digress. All right, we have Adam Bots. That's who he first starts off as me phone bots, and then it's later revealed. So I'm just gonna yield that it's a robot. Pretty solid character choice, so I'm just gonna put him in A tier. There we have Brian Bot. Bot. Honestly, honestly, I do like his character design in the A tier. And this guy right here, he's pretty controversial. We don't talk about it. There you go. There we go. No, no, I know you're expecting of what he did wrong, so I'm not going to explain to it. Then we have MacBook, the true gossip, gaslight, and girl boss. I probably butchered the whole thing, and I'm probably butchered the whole thing, and I'm so sorry to all the girl bosses who are watching this channel. All right, now I have this guy right here. He unfortunately died. Now I have this gal right here. She also unfortunately died. Died. Dang. A lot. Dang. Most of these forgettable characters either died or are forgettable. Then we have MePhone 3S. I think that's his name. Honestly, honestly, he's a pretty great character. I do like the backstory where he tries to do everything right for this guy right here. However, however, he struggles and ends up got beat by him. Still not as peak as 4S and 4 though. So I'll just put it right here. Then we have Mi Phone 5. Uh, he's a very intimidating villain, where he takes the million and terminates 4S and 4. Now he's like basically in 2 episodes. However, he has more development in it, so I'm just gonna put it in A tier, and I'm just gonna put this guy right here also in A tier. Then we have then we have the entire couple. They basically die. Now I heard this guy is very freaky, so I'm just gonna have been B tier because well, as well as the wife because she's watching it. All right, and here we have. I honestly forgot you exist because you died. I also forgot that you exist over here. Then we have one of Salt and Pepper's assistants. They look like they want to retire, so I'll cut them some slack and give them an A tier. And then for this guy right here, I'll also cut him some slack. Like, I don't really vibe with the blueness in it though. No, but maybe it's my personal opinion. I'll probably move this higher because well, I do like the gradients. And I'll just move him in C tier because well, I don't vibe with the beige ones. And then we have Me Phone X. I think that's his name. And honestly, pretty peak character design. If I see this in my bed, I would be very terrified. S tier. S tier villain. S tier from an S tier show. I probably butchered it up. Then we have this computer guy right here. I forgot he exists. Then we have the button face, the guys right here. I also forgot he exists. Now, before I just I'll get on to you later. Don't worry. Okay, it's now time for the spin-off characters. Mr. Sledgehammer right here. Here, he's a sledgehammer. So yeah. Then we have Pop Tarts. I'm just gonna put them in A tier because I love Pop Tarts. Calm down. What's your favorite? Guitar Man. Oh, I like this design. It's sad that he didn't get to compete. Then we have Bookcasey. I think that's his name. I like how he just basically slanders Phone and then just falls into the void. I also do like the design of him. And so I'm just putting him right here, right next to Nikolay. Actually right next to these trees. Then we have the token chip. He probably got arrested for gambling, which honestly, why would you arrest people for gambling? I'm just gonna put him in S tier. Don't at me. Then we have magnifying glass. I honestly forgot he exists. And cookie. I'm surprised that Mifo didn't eat him. So I'm just gonna put him right here and see. Then we have banana. I forgot he exists. Banana. I'm just gonna put him right here. 8 ball. I don't know. Then we have bell. I don't know. And then we have the dictionary. F tier for being discriminatory, though. Then we have Spiky Mervert. I do like the design, and I do like it. However, it's like a B tier. I kind of. Then we have TV. Yes, 700. Yes, like 1,000 channels. We have Razor Blade. Don't kill yourself with Razor Blade, kids. But I'm just gonna put them in A tier because well, I do like the gradients of the design. And now for the spin-off characters. For the one that massacred my girl test tube. Now we have Blueberry. Honestly, he needs a coping mechanism after he got eliminated, but I'm sure he's fine with it. I'm sure he's fine with being in an island. So I honestly kind of vibe with that. I'm just gonna put him in C tier though. Then we have Goo. Normally I would put him in G tier, but honestly, he's not that bad. He sometimes gets a little bit annoying though, so I'm just putting him down right here. And then we have Bot. I like I like the character development given to Bot. What? As well as like where they try to try to be who they want to be. As well as having long legs. Let's put him in A tier. Then we have Tyler right here. I honestly like this Tyler because, well, one, he's voiced by one of the creators of Jack and Jellify, and two, he seems like a pretty nice guy who wants to gang up and wants to one up on Mifo and murk him on the spot. However, you never compete with the goats right here, which is Tyler season 1. I'm just gonna put it right here. Then we have these things. They scare me. But no. Then we have this guy right here. A tier design. A tier design. May I'm being a little bit too harsh on interventional. Then they have Zoe Trope or Trophy Girl. Hang on. Oh, Grosser, or honestly, she is so real. Honestly, it's pretty understandable of why she doesn't like Beef Phone because of the nominees, the Oscars for being a joke because he treats everything like a joke. I kind of wish they have some better character development though. In fact, I kind of wish almost every character from Interventional has some better character development. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh though. Dr. Fizz, come on, dude. It's Dr. Fizz. Fizz. I'm just gonna put him right here. Then we have they have Spring. Then we have these two guys right here. These two, which is the walkie-talkie. Honestly, I kind of like characters who even though they have no face and no mouth, they still communicate with someone. I do like the added detail where like, by the way, you said trophy wrong. You mean trophy? Hey, Alice. I do like the detail of the glowing walkie-talkie as like communicating. But the main question is, who is on the walkie-talkie? I'm just gonna put him in. I'm just gonna put her in A tier. Then we have Zoetrope. Now, now he's honestly I don't expect him to. Honestly, I kind of like he's like very passionate about animation, even though he's voiced by. You said Topher wrong. My bad. Anyways, I kind of like Zoetrope. Zoetrope, even though he's voiced by Saber Spark, and yeah, I'm just gonna put him in. He's still like a B tier character though. Now you have Mr. Springs right here. Here, I guess a lot of people are mad at me for this, but I'm just gonna put him in A tier because well, he's a silly Billy, and as you may know, silly Billies go on A tier or an S tier if I carry them long enough. Then we have Ballpoint Pen. I mean, he's a gentleman, and gentleman goes right here. You can't deny it though. Let me move it down there though. All right, and now for these characters. And why does this count as a character? It's just a boat. It's just a boat. Why are they throwing And also, it's pretty wild that they like throw a funeral of a boat. I'm probably gonna get canceled, but I'm gonna put it in C tier. All right, and now for these characters. Now, hear me out. I pretty much dislike these characters because, well, you know what? Because, well, let me give you one reason. Let me give you a hint. They try to cancel me phone on Twitter for one reason. He won't let them invade their privacy. And you know where privacy invaders go? F tier. Honestly, I kind of like her a little bit. Still a C tier character though. Now we get on to the actual contestants. Here we have Tea Kettle. Kettle, who is a very sweet grandma. It's very shameful how, like, she got eliminated. I was gonna put her in B tier. She's still a B tier character though. Then we have then we have they have this guy right here. I forgot he exists, but I just know he did a very poor job of managing his tea. Draw two for your mistake, buddy. Then we have Floor. Now, for meme reasons, I'm just gonna put him in A tier because he's very freaky. I mean, imagine if he if you step on his mouth and he just so happens to lick it. That'd be kind of weird, right? However, all jokes aside, I'm just gonna put him in D tier because he's annoying. He's a little bit annoying as well, and also a very snitch. And listen, pal. I hate to break it to you, but you know what happened to snitches? They get stitches, and snitches get no. I'm just playing. Now. Then we have Silver Spoon. Bro's trying to be nice so hard. Oh, great. We have another tryhard. Although he's a little bit better of a tryhard as well. He's the funniest character of the show. I'm just going to put him in B tier, though. Then we have Clover. I'm very sorry for putting her right next to this guy. Please don't cancel me. Now she's also a very silly Billy, who is cursed with good luck for some reason. And pass it on to Nickel. So I'm just gonna put it a B. Oh yeah, I did forget that Nickel has a redemption arc. Damn. Then we have that file cabinet and candle. Then we have file cabinet right here. I do love her. I love her personality, and she's very relatable. She's just like me for reals, but she's pretty much a nerfed up version of microphone. So I'm just gonna put her in. There you go. And then we have Candle, which, by the way, hear me out. Hear me out. Hey, wait, guys. Hear me out. Hear me out on Candle. Hear me out on Candle. Candle. Now, you guys might want to cover your ears because, yeah. She's a certified baddie. And as you know, she goes right here. Here. I'm just going to move. Microphone's still on top, though. But still. How can you deny that? How can you deny that this girl ain't no baddie? gonna move these characters right here. There you go. I mean, I do like these two characters, but this girl right here, she's a baddie. There. All right, get this guy out of here. All right, I'm very sorry. And then, last but certainly not least, we have. I'm pretty much no. Now, I'm noticing that A tier is very pretty much stacked up, and I'm also noticing that there's literally no characters in. Oh my gosh, where are we going? I accidentally messed up the tier list. There's pretty much like more characters in A tier, more than characters in G tier. But it's because I'm feeling a little bit nice today. What's the gulag? What's the gulag, you may ask? Well, it's basically the characters who are irredeemable. That's kind of what you need to know. And now for the last but certainly not least, we have Taco. Guys, I have a confession to make. You're probably going to get mad at me for this, but you know where this character goes? Am I lying though? Am I lying though? Am I lying though? Though? I mean, how can you deny it? She's the GOAT! She's my GOAT! No one's gonna top the GOAT! Sorry for being over dramatic, by the way. She's literally the best character of the show. I do like how she went from a and silly Billy and she like a silly Billy who was often like who everyone who is thought like to be mentally unstable, as well well as well as saying sour cream to the most manipulative silly Billy. To a silly Billy. All right, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I like how she went from like I do like the character change development. She went from a very silly Billy. Sorry, I like how she went from a silly Billy who. And move this right here. I like how she went from a silly Billy who. I don't even know what I'm even saying. I mean, she's literally the goat. Goat. I like the character change right here. I like how she went from a silly Billy who often says sour cream and is known to spit out lemons to a silly Billy who is known to manipulate as well as thinking about violence. I mean, look at her. I also like her very arrogant behavior, which you guys are probably gonna like question why is she in the goat tier though. Well, that's because I often like how she's very confident despite of her being like the villain, and also she made the best song of all time. Con- she made a song where even Eminem and Kanye went silent about it. And if you guys disagree with me putting her in that tier right here, you need to go in a tier below G. I'm sorry. Anyways, that is my inanimate insanity tier list right here. Now, if you guys want me to see, and if you guys want to see the BFDI tier list, now if you guys want me to do like a BFDI tier list as well as like a, if you guys want me to do like a BFDI tier list, then make sure this video gets at least one like. But overall, that's gonna be it for today's stream, and hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys later.